What the internet doesn't need is another unboxing video, but the shocks showed up in a pretty nice box and I think the presentation looks good. I've already unboxed it, so I can't do all the oohing and ahhing and pretending to be surprised. But these things I ordered from Revzilla. They were about $550, and that's how they show up. They show up in nice condition. Packaging is nice. Probably no chance of damage. It's got all the hardware that I'm sure we'll use later. And here are the actual shocks. This is upside down. Let me turn it over. So that's what the shocks look like that. And I'll give you the money shot here. We zoom in there. That's the damping adjustment right there. So I ordered these in the 13-inch length. I think the entire Sportster community agrees that you have to have the increased length shocks to get good performance. So I wanted to point something out on these shocks I didn't see before, and they don't really say it on the website. So we already know that that's the damping adjustment. That's going to come in handy later. But up here where you have your preload, when I saw the picture on the website, I saw these holes, which usually indicates you need to use a wrench to adjust your preload, but you can actually turn the preload very easily by hand, just by that knob there. So that'll save you having to carry a wrench around on the Sportster, which doesn't have any toolkit or factory luggage capacity. So that should come in real handy. I think I'm going to skip the video on how to install it. There's a million videos on how to put shocks on your Sportster, so we'll skip that part, but we'll get these things on there. We'll show you how to dial in sag and then get the damping adjusted and see if this is an improvement over the Sportster crap shocks that we've got right now. I thought it'd be a good idea to share with you the weight of these shocks and compare it to the stock ones. So let's put the Racing Brothers on the scale. And they come in at 3 pounds. Well, 3 pounds and 1 ounce. Okay, so I wanted to share with you the instructions that come with this shock. So I got the Bazooka HD racing shock. I don't think you'd actually race with this, but I'll also show you kind of basic instructions. I mean, first thing they cover is your preload, making sure that you have the spring set so that when you sit on a bike it sinks about 10 millimeters. And then how to adjust rebound damping. But the installation instructions are the funny part. You come down here and that's basically it. Let me see if I can focus better for you, but shoot this on my phone. There you go. There they are. That's the instructions. So what it really means is you mount the shocks so that the surface with this built-in metal ring here, it's I don't know what this is called, but it goes through the shock, that faces out, and the damping dial faces backwards. The other thing is it does come with a tool to adjust the preload. And it's kind of silly because you can put the tool in there and turn it, but it's totally unnecessary because you can just turn it with your hand, as you can see, which is really nice. You just set them to the same number from the top to the bottom. I think I have 7 exposed threads on mine, but that's the stance of the bike. It's a little higher. And you read online when you put the taller shock on, you get like lighter steering up front, which is true, better ground clearance, which is true. The other thing is the shocks have to have spacers because they're slightly different from stock. And let's see if we can show you. There's a wide spacer right here. So the shocks come with a wide spacer for the top and for the bottom. So you have 4 of these. And then it just has a bigger washer that you want to put here at the factory bolt because this metal surface is larger than the stock metal surface. The other thing is, I thought maybe you'd like to see the difference between the stock and the Racing Brothers shock, so I'm going to try to hold that up so you can see it without scratching anything, but let's see. That's basically it. You can see it's about 2 inches longer. And the other thing too is this beast, the stock shock, I weighed this, it's just over 5 pounds. It's 5 pounds 3 ounces. So you know, we removed, I believe that's 4 pounds total from the swing arm altogether, right? So that's pretty good. But yeah, these things stink. And it's confusing. They're made by Showa, and they know how to make shocks, but they just don't work. They seem to be way over damped, and they don't have enough travel. You can see here we've got about an inch of travel, and if you look on this new shock, you've got double that. You got 2 inches of travel at least. The other thing is, I'll just point out, I thought it was kind of weird that the Racing Brothers shock does not have a progressively wound spring. Seems like all the good shocks have that. This does not. I took it on the cobblestones in Vinegar Hill in Brooklyn last night, and they worked really well on those kind of bumps, which would be absolute murder with the stock shocks. And over the next week or so, I'll take it out on the good twisty roads up in the country and see how it does. All right, well, that's about it. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions, point out what I did wrong. Anyway, that's it.